Hello dear students, I am Debashri Sahu from DePaul School Barampur, and we are going to study for class 9 students in chemistry an important chapter, chemical changes and chemical reactions. This is the second chapter in your textbook, and in this chapter we are going to study in details about different types of chemical reactions, and at first we will learn what are the chemical changes. Now let us first discuss about the scope of ICSE syllabus. What does the ICSE syllabus contain? According to ICSE syllabus, we are going to study about chemical changes and reactions, the various types of chemical changes like direct combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double decomposition reaction. All these we are going to study along with suitable examples in the form of chemical equations. We are also going to study about energy changes which are taking place in a chemical changes, like for example exothermic reactions, endothermic reactions, along with examples of evolution of heat, light and electricity. Now let us first discuss what is a chemical change. Now, what is a chemical change? Already in class 8, we have studied in details about what are physical and chemical changes. In this particular video, I'll be telling you first what is a chemical change and how is a chemical reaction related to a chemical change. Now, a chemical change can be defined as more or less a permanent change in which certain substances, they lose their original properties and they form new types of substances which are different from the properties of the original reactant. That means you can say that a reactant is getting converted into a product and the property of the reactant is very much different from that of the property of the product. Now, how about these chemical changes are being taken place? Now, in a chemical change, either there is addition reaction, that means two or more substances react with together to form a new compound product. There is a decomposition reaction, that means a bigger product breaks down to form small simpler products. Exchange of atoms, that means certain elements or certain compounds are replaced by certain other types of atoms or elements. So, or we can say that this is a process in which certain changes in the position of the bonds or the atoms is being taken place. So, wherever such types of changes are observed, that means the bond is changing and a new substance is being formed, we call it as a chemical reaction. Some chemical reactions may be reversible while certain chemical reactions are irreversible, but most of the time the chemical changes are irreversible in nature. Now let us discuss how we will know whether a change is a chemical reaction or not, or a chemical reaction has occurred or not. Now, what are the evidences that we are going to look forward? The first evidence that we are going to see is whether any physical change, whether a light is being produced or color is getting changed. That means in certain reaction you can see that some amount of light will be released, or you can say that in some cases the reactant's color will change and a product will be having a different color, or in some cases there will be a change in the smell. That means you can smell the product and you can observe that the product is having a different smell. Nor in some cases there may be a sound produced. For example, hydrogen, if I take a burning splinter, it produces a pop sound. Or in some cases there is a change in temperature. That means the temperature of the reaction mixture and the product mixture, if you check, either the temperature might have risen or it might have decreased. Or in some cases there may be a gas evolved. For example, whenever zinc metal reacts with an acid like HCl, then hydrogen gas is released. So there are several reactions in which several different types of gases are released. Or in some cases heat may be produced or heat may be released. That means after the reaction, if you touch a particular apparatus, then it will be appearing hot to us. What is a chemical reaction? Now, there are several different types of chemical reactions which are occurring in our day-to-day life, but we don't know much about them. That means we are not aware that these are chemical reactions. So, how will you know whether it is a chemical reaction or not? You will look for the evidences that we have discussed. For example, combustion, digestion, cooking, all these are examples of chemical reactions. We can know all these are chemical reactions by checking for the evidences. So, a chemical reaction is nothing but a reactant is getting converted to a product with different properties. So for example, while cooking, you will observe that the raw vegetables get cooked, and the cooked vegetables have a quite different shape, size and structure compared to that of the raw vegetables. Now, what is a chemical reaction? Now, chemical reaction is a process generally characterized by a chemical change in which the starting material is different from that of the products. That means, as I said, the reactant and product are two different types of substances. And for example, if I give you zinc, when reacts with HCl, it forms zinc chloride and hydrogen gas is being evolved. Chemical reactions generally involve the transfer of electrons. In this case, what happens is certain bonds are broken and certain new bonds are being created. So you can say that in a chemical reaction there is rearrangement of atoms, or there is either loss or gain of electrons or transfer of electrons, leading to the formation of new chemical bonds. There may be certain different types of chemical reactions, and there are different methods of classifying them. We are going to study all of them. But let us first discuss about what is a chemical equation. A chemical equation is nothing but a symbolic representation of a chemical change or a chemical reaction. For example, if I want to show a chemical change or a chemical reaction on pen and paper, I will be symbolically representing it by using the symbols and formulae of the substances, that is the reactants and the products. So what is the method of equation writing? Always remember, in a chemical equation we are not writing the full name, rather we are representing the reactants and products with the help of symbols and formulas. Always the reactants are written on the left hand side of the reaction and the products are written on the right hand side of the reaction. Now we separate the reactant and the product with the help of an arrow mark. For example, in this particular reaction, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. But there is one error in the reaction, that is the reaction is not balanced. Always remember, a balanced chemical equation is always necessary. So what is the characteristics of a chemical equation? Chemical equation is generally representative of a chemical reaction. That means it tells us what the chemical change is all about, and it should always be represented in molar quantities. That means the number of moles of the reactant that is reacting to form the products, that too in terms of moles. Details about moles you are going to study about in class 10th, which is a method of measuring the quantitatively any particular compound. And more important is, a chemical equation should be always be balanced in terms of atoms or molecules. That means the number of molecules or atoms of the reactants which are present on the left hand side should be balancing with that of the products present on the right hand side. Now what are the reactants? The substances which are reacting with each other and then they are changing to form a new product is called as the reactant. What are the products? The new substances which are formed after the chemical reaction are known as the products. If you take this particular equation, zinc and hydrochloric acid, zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and hydrogen, where zinc and HCl are the reactants and zinc chloride and hydrogen are the products. What are the informations obtained from a chemical equation? A balanced equation indicates which reactant undergoes chemical change and what are the products being formed. It also indicates how many moles of the reactants are undergoing any particular chemical change and how many moles of the products are being formed. Now, what is the requirement for a chemical equation to be balanced? A chemical equation should always be balanced because it has to comply with the law of conservation of matter. According to law of conservation of matter, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, it is always transformed from one form to the another form. Here you can see that before the reaction, whatever the quantity of the particular matter was or the substance was, after the reaction it is the same. That means here matter is not destroyed or created, rather it is converted from one form to another form. We can take an example of this where sodium hydroxide solution is reacting with copper sulfate solution to form sodium sulfate and copper hydroxide solution as a precipitate. If you observe this particular reaction, in which you will observe that the weight is same, that is 67.25 gram before and after the reaction. That means new products are being formed, but these products are not having the same mass, are not having the same mass as that of the product. That means the reactant and product have the same mass. Balanced and unbalanced chemical equation. Now, balanced chemical equations are those chemical equations in which the amount of or the number of atoms of reactants and products are same on both the sides. Whereas in an unbalanced chemical equation, the total number of atoms in the reactants and products are not the same. That means it is unbalanced in nature. If you see these two equations, aluminium when it reacts with oxygen, it forms aluminium oxide. Aluminium 4 atoms are present on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. Similarly, oxygen 6 atoms are present on the RHS and the LHS side as it is. If you see the second unbalanced equation, hydrogen 2 atoms are present on both the sides, whereas oxygen on the left hand side there are 2 atoms, on the right hand side there is only 1 atom. That means this is an unbalanced chemical equation. Now, what are the various types of chemical reaction? The chemical reactions can be classified into various types. The first one being the addition reaction, in which 2 atoms or 2 elements or 2 compounds are reacting together to form a new product, which is a synthesized product. In a decomposition reaction, a particular compound is breaking down to form 2 simpler elements or 2 simpler compounds. In single displacement reaction, one of the elements from the compound is getting replaced by another particular element. In double displacement reaction, there is exchange of ions or the exchange of radicals between the 2 substances or 2 compounds. In a combustion reaction, any particular substance, whenever it reacts with oxygen, we call it as a combustion reaction. Now, coming to various types of reaction, there are in this particular slide I have explained with equation and examples of various types of reaction. In a synthesis reaction, as you know, reaction in which 2 or more simpler substances are combining. Example, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. In a decomposition reaction, water decomposes to form hydrogen and oxygen. In a substitution reaction, you can see zinc is substituting hydrogen from HCl to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Or in the second reaction, you can see chlorine is substituting bromine from sodium bromide to form sodium chloride and bromine gas. In a precipitation reaction, you can see the exchange of radical between sodium chloride and silver nitrate, where silver chloride and sodium nitrate is being formed. In a neutralization reaction, as you know, whenever an acid and a base react, they form salt and water. In a redox reaction, in a particular reaction, both simultaneously oxidation and reduction are taking place. Coming to the synthesis or addition reaction, we also call it as direct combination reaction. Here 2 simpler substances are combining to form a complex substance. Now, in this particular reaction, 2 different elements or compounds are reacting together and giving only one compound, and this is a rather more complex product. For example, when X and Y are reacting, they are forming XY. When A and B are reacting, they are forming AB. In the same manner, when magnesium reacts with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. So we call this particular reaction as synthesis reaction. There are various types of synthesis reaction or combination reaction, in which either 2 elements can combine together to form a compound. A metal can react with a non-metal to form a binary ionic compound. 2 non-metals can react to form a binary covalent compound. Compound can react with element to form a compound. 2 compounds can also react to form a complex compound. In all these cases, what you are seeing is 2 simpler substances are combining together to form a complex substance. So, if you see the first top diagram, you can see that the reactants are 2 types, violet one and red one, and the product, you can see the violet and red combines together. I have taken hydrogen and oxygen over here. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. This is an example of a synthesis reaction. Or you can also take a particular case where a particular element is combining with a compound to form a new complex compound. You can take this example where calcium is combining with oxygen to form calcium oxide, magnesium combines with nitrogen to form magnesium nitride, or you can take iron combining with sulfur to form iron sulfide. Other examples of synthesis reaction in our day-to-day life: photosynthesis, where carbon dioxide combines with water to form glucose and oxygen. Formation is also a type of synthesis reactions. Sodium and chlorine combining to form sodium chloride. Various examples I have given: sulfur trioxide reacting with water to form sulfuric acid, nitrogen combining with hydrogen to form ammonia, ammonia combining with HCl to form ammonium chloride, so on. You can take many such examples of synthesis reaction. Coming to decomposition reaction. In a decomposition reaction, a complex compound is breaking down to two simpler types of elements or simpler substances. In a decomposition reaction, for example, calcium carbonate, when it breaks down, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide is also a compound, carbon dioxide is also a compound. Always it is not necessary that when a compound will break, it will form only elements. It can form two compounds, it can form two elements, it can form one element and another compound also. It is all about splitting of a complex substance to form simpler substances. When XY breaks, it forms X and Y. So how these decomposition reactions are brought about? Most of the time the decomposition reactions are endothermic in nature. That means they require heat. In some cases they may require light or electricity also. Now coming to the types of decomposition, as I said, a compound can break to two elements, a compound can break to form an element and a compound, or a compound can break to form two compounds. AB breaks down to form A plus B, and this is an example of decomposition reaction. In our day-to-day life, the examples of decomposition reaction include breaking down of hydrogen peroxide to form water and oxygen, electrolysis of water to form hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen trioxide is triiodide is breaking down to form nitrogen and iodine, or in general you can say AB breaks down to A plus B. Calcium carbonate breaking down to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, ammonium chloride most common, camphor you can see ammonia and HCl, mercuric oxide breaks down to mercury and oxygen, sodium nitrate break down to sodium you can say NaNO2 and O2, where sodium nitrite and oxygen. Similarly, potassium chlorate breaks down to form potassium chloride and oxygen. In all these cases, it is always remember you have to write down the condition, that is where heat is required and wherever electricity is required, you have to mention that. Now coming to the types of decomposition reaction. Now the various types of decomposition reaction include photochemical decomposition reaction, that is sunlight is required for it. For example, silver bromide in the presence of your sunlight breaks down to form silver and bromine. It can be by means of electric current, or where you can see that it is known as electrolytic decomposition. Your water breaks down by electrolysis process to form hydrogen and oxygen. It can be thermal decomposition, where by heating the calcium carbonates breaks to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. We have taken the example of silver chloride. Photochemical decomposition of silver chloride leads to formation of silver and chlorine. This is an example of reasoning question, or you can also have observation question. It can be asked why silver chloride is stored in dark colored bottles or amber bottles. Because it is sensitive to light, and in the presence of sunlight it breaks down to form silver and chlorine. Coming to the electrolytic decomposition of acidulated water, pure water being a bad conductor of electricity, we are adding little bit of sulfuric acid to it. You can do the process of electrolysis. At the cathode you can see the hydrogen gas is released, and at anode oxygen gas is released, the ratio being 2:1 as oxygen to hydrogen. Thermal decomposition of mercuric oxide. Mercuric oxide in the presence of heat breaks down to form mercury and oxygen. Oxygen can be checked by taking a glowing splinter towards the mouth of the test tube. You can observe that the splinter starts glowing more brightly. So this is an example of a thermal decomposition reaction. Thermal decomposition of copper carbonate, an important observation question. Green color copper carbonate on heating breaks down to form black color copper oxide along with the release of carbon dioxide gas, which turns lime water milky. Coming to single displacement reaction. In single displacement reaction, one element displaces another element from a particular compound. Now, a substitution or single displacement reaction is a reaction in which an atom or group of atom is displacing another atom or group of atoms in a compound. In this particular reaction, this is an example of a redox reaction. Here you can see x plus yz gives rise to xz plus y. It is very important to remember whether x is a metal or a non-metal, and accordingly you need to change the position. This depends upon the reactivity series of metals. If you remember, you have read about this reactivity series: potassium, sodium, lithium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, copper, mercury, silver and gold. This is the decreasing order of reactivity, and potassium is the most reactive element. So a highly reactive element or a metal will displace a less reactive element from its salt solution. So elements which are higher in the reactivity series can displace the elements which are lower in the electricity metal activity series. So zinc and hydrogen, if you compare, zinc is above hydrogen. So zinc can displace hydrogen from hydrogen chloride. So zinc plus HCl give rise to zinc chloride and hydrogen. Similarly, when iron reacts with copper sulfate, it forms iron sulfate and copper. So iron can displace copper because iron is at higher position compared to copper, which is at the base of the activity series. So all the elements which are higher can displace the elements which are lower in the reactivity series. Here you can see the reaction of iron with copper sulfate. When an iron nail is immersed in blue color copper sulfate solution, after some time it forms iron sulfate because copper is replaced by iron. Because iron sulfate is slightly greenish in color, you can see the change in the color. Copper metal being slightly pinkish in color will deposit on the iron nail. Zinc reacting with copper sulfate is blue in color. When zinc reacts, then it forms you can see the solution turns colorless because the color of the solution was because of the copper ions. Now copper ions change into copper metals which deposits on the particular plate. Coming to double displacement reaction. In double displacement reaction, there is exchange of radicals between two compounds. In this particular reaction, you can see that insoluble salts are formed by mixing soluble salts. Two compounds are exchanging their bonds or ions. An example of a double displacement reaction occurs between sodium chloride and silver nitrate. As you can see, sodium chloride, when it reacts with silver nitrate, then sodium reacts with the nitrate radical to form sodium nitrate, and silver reacts with the chloride radical to form silver chloride. So this is a method of exchange of radicals. AB plus CD gives rise to AD plus BC. Types of double decomposition reaction. There are two types of double decomposition reaction. One is your neutralization reaction or acid-base reaction. The other one is your precipitation reaction. What is a precipitation reaction? It is a particular type of reaction in which an insoluble precipitate is formed at the base of the test tube after two soluble solutions are mixed with each other. A precipitation reaction is a type of chemical reaction in which two soluble salts in aqueous solution combine together to form one of the products which is insoluble, and it is called as the precipitate, and the upper part which remains is known as your supernatant. Here I have given a collection of various different types of precipitates and their colors. Calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide are slightly whitish in color, copper pink, Fe plus 2 being your dirty green in color, Fe plus 3 reddish brown in color, cobalt is your slightly pink, nickel slightly greenish in color. So in this way you can see there are so many different types of salts and their precipitates when we treat with sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide. Reaction of sodium sulfate with barium chloride, very important. This is a reaction which is generally asked in observation. When barium chloride solution is added to sodium sulfate, then barium sulfate is a white precipitate which is formed at the base of the test tube. Neutralization reaction, acid-base reaction, which you all know, whenever an acid reacts with a base, it forms salt and water. HCl reacts with NaOH to form NaCl and H2O. Various examples of neutralization reaction. Here we have taken various different types of bases and various different types of acids. When these acids are reacting, they are with bases, they are forming salt and water, HCl and KOH, KCl and water, HCl and calcium hydroxide, calcium chloride and water, HCN and NaOH, NaCN and water. All these are examples of neutralization reaction. Thank you so much for watching the video. Watch the continuation video of this to know about the various observations